I'm making this video for drummers that want to sound good all the time. So if you've been rocking with this channel long enough, you've heard me say plenty of times that you can make any set of drums sound good if you know how to tune them and you know how to hit them. Now we've talked about tuning plenty of times. This video is all about how to touch your drums so that you sound like a boss all the time. We're going to talk about each component here, so the hats, snare, toms, cymbals, kick, everything. And I'm going to give you some pointers, how I've been playing pretty much most of my life, 30 plus years. And this, in my opinion, these are the best ways to get the best sounds out of your drums. So, if you're ready to go, let's go. Let's talk about the hi-hats. The hi-hats are one of the most dynamic and important pieces of your kit. And they're not just there for keeping time and sloshing away quarters at them. All right, these are a very musical instrument. So, what I want you to get used to thinking regarding your hi-hats, there's two parts of your hats that I want you to focus on. There's the edge of the hats, and there's the top of the hats. Now, I'm the type of drummer that likes to dance on the hats a lot, so this is something that I used to practice when I first started. And it's just a simple kind of rocking motion where, again, playing the top of the hats with the tip of the stick, and then to play the edge, I'm just dropping my wrist below this level here. So now you kind of get this kind of motion happening. Feels weird, and it's going to feel weird for a bit, but eventually you'll get used to it. And then, you know, with the left and the right hand, you can sort of alternate. And then once you get that sort of level of muscle memory down, then you can really take advantage of it and get some really cool musical stuff happening on the hi-hat. Now, for me, the most important thing about all of this is being able to play the pulse when you're grooving, okay? So if I'm gonna be playing quarters on the hats, I'm not just hacking away quarter notes. What I like to do normally is I'll actually play eighth notes and just accent the quarters on the edge of the hats with the shoulder of the stick. The snare drum. This is also a very dynamic, very versatile part of the kit. There are several ways that you can hit this thing to get several different types of sounds out of it. But in terms of cracking backbeats, there's really only one way to go, and that's rim shots. Rim shots is the idea of hitting the center of the drum, or maybe even slightly above, and the rim at the same time. This is where the gunshot comes from. Playing rim shots is kind of like a nitrous boost to your backbeats, and it really kind of amplifies and just makes those backbeats nice and strong. But the cool thing is about it is that you don't have to hit your drum any harder. Like, as long as you're hitting these two areas at the same time, you get a really, really nice crack out of it. And there are also varying degrees of rim shot. There's what's called the Gene Krupa rim shot, which is way closer back here. So instead of hitting the center of the drum with the tip of the stick, it's more back here. So now you're getting more of like a timbali type of tone. And it's just a tool. It's just a dynamic tool in your toolbox that you can use really creatively, especially with fills. Let's talk about cymbals for a second. Now, there's two types of drummers in this world. Those that hit their cymbals and those that play their cymbals. Be the latter. Cymbals are gorgeous, dynamic instruments. I'm a huge fan of cymbals. That's why I got a lot of them. I love what you can get them to do. They'll say exactly what you want them to say, but you got to be able to tell them what to say. You can't just grab a stick and start hacking away at them. These are the types of drummers that take giant chunks out of their cymbals. Fact of the matter is, you don't have to hit these things hard to get full volume out of them. All right? After a certain amount of force, it's just diminished returns, and you're just going to end up cracking a bunch of cymbals. The one thing that I'm trying to do is just draw the best sounds out of them. And one of the best ways to do that is to just really get used to loving what your cymbals sound like. I like to listen to my cymbals when I hit them. Like, I get excited when I hear what I can get them to do. So treat them. You don't have to baby them, but you don't have to smash the crap out of them either. So what I normally like to do, I'll just use more of the body of the stick. Maybe I'll slice at it, kind of like that. Maybe I'll go this way with it. Maybe it might even look like I'm playing through them, but I'm not really. I'm just kind of doing that type of thing. But you'll honestly get the best sounds out of your cymbals if you know how to hit them. Now, one of the most valuable things that you're going to have to learn how to do with your cymbals is play swells. Cymbal swells are an extremely valuable tool, and you're going to be asked to play them a lot. Sometimes a really nice cymbal swell can be the perfect complement to any part of a song. So that's not a big deal. All you're doing is playing a single stroke on the edge of the cymbal, right? The smoother you play it, the smoother your swell is going to be. Practice it on one cymbal, practice it on two cymbals, just balance them out, keep your strokes even, and just practice playing swells on your cymbals. Knowing how to play your toms is a very important part of being a drummer. That's something that you're going to have to learn how to do, and something that you're going to have to get good at, especially if you're a church drummer. But they're a very sort of dynamic part of the instrument, and it can add a lot to the music, to the room, whatever it is that you're doing. So being able to play these with a full range of dynamics is important. What I like to do generally is all wrist movement for me. Sometimes I'll use the elbow, you know, if I got 2 floors and I'm really pounding them out down there, but I never play past the elbow. Fact of the matter is, you can get all the power that you need just from the wrist alone. So if you learn how to use the wrists when you're playing your toms, you can get the entire full range of dynamics when you're doing rolls, when you're doing single hits, all of that stuff. So when you're doing fill exercises around the drums and stuff like that, try to focus on wrist movement and get what you need out of the wrist, okay? Try to remember that volume comes from velocity. So it's just a matter of snapping that stick down faster instead of harder, and you'll get plenty of volume out of your toms. And you can also really control your level of dynamics going from, you know, loud to soft, soft to loud, whatever you need to do. It can all happen from right here. Let's talk about this magical instrument right here. I love ride cymbals. The ride is my favorite part of the kit next to the snare drum. And it's important that you learn how to play your ride so that you can take advantage of all of the musical properties that are in this one cymbal. If you got the right ride in your kit, you can get through an entire gig with no other cymbals on the kit. So being able to play your ride cymbal dynamically so you can get everything that you need to get out of it is important. So again, we have the different parts of the stick that I like to use. There's a tip, there's a shoulder, there's even, you know, the entire shaft of the body of the stick, whatever you want to call it. And the 3 parts of the ride that I like to use all the time. There's the edge, right? This is where all the crashing happens. All the rhythm stuff happens with the tip of the stick in this area. And then I use the shoulder of the stick to hit the bell to get all types of different accents and cool stuff like that. So this is a cymbal that you need to learn how to play, not just hit, but you got to learn how to play it because the musical properties in this thing are crazy. There are a lot more than you can get out of just your crashes. So keep that in mind. Next time you're sitting on your kit, you know, just spend some time, some quality time with your ride and just hit it in some different spots and just see what you can get out of it. And then finally, let's talk about the bass drum and the best way to be playing that. I know there's the whole debate between whether you should play off the head or whether you should bury the beater. You know what? The choice is yours. But I can tell you straight up, the majority of drummers bury the beater. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, okay? If you're a jazz drummer and you got a little 18 down there and you're actually trying to get tone out of it, then you should probably learn how to play off of the head. But when you're back there and you're laying bricks, there's absolutely nothing wrong with burying the beater. Your kick drum is not going to sound any less cool if you bury it. So my advice to beginner drummers just starting out, before you want to get into the whole learning how to bounce off the head, you can do that if you want, but try to focus on nice, strong thump when you're kicking down there. The way to do that is to use the full weight of your leg, okay? You want to be seated in such a way that, you know, your thighs are kind of slightly pointing downward. Get a nice, comfortable position on the pedal. Raise your heel up a couple of inches and learn to use the weight of your leg to thump them notes out. Don't let anyone tell you that it's wrong to bury the beater. Like I said, the majority of drummers play that way, and they have since the inception of rock. So these are just some quick tips that you can keep in mind while you're learning how to play. These are the best ways that I've adapted to pull the best sounds out of my drums. And they've all made a big difference just in my overall sound when I'm up there playing. So you can honestly take them or leave them. This is just advice from someone that's been playing 35 plus years. And it's worked for me up until now. So I think they'll help you out. So that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Drop a comment below if you got one. Don't forget to visit the merch shop on your way out. Summer's coming. Got a whole bunch of t-shirts in there that you're gonna wanna wear to your next rehearsal. So make sure you stop by, take a look around. It's a great way to support the channel. I'd also like to mention real quick that I am in fact a partner with Drumeo, and they have set up a 30-day free trial membership just for being fans of this channel. So there's a special link in the description box if you've been interested in checking it out, and there are a lot of reasons to lately, for sure. Click that link in the description. That'll take you to my landing page. 2 clicks and you're in free for 30 days. Thanks for watching this video. Share it if you dig it. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you bounce. Like, subscribe again. See you next video.